Bargoers flee in screams and horror after a fire erupts in a Bangkok pub, killing at least 27, many of whom were found trapped in toilets. Commerce Chief Algernon Yau touts growth in foreign firm numbers and pledges support for local businesses to adapt to market changes. And tropical storm Bavi brings heavy rain to Liaoning province, forcing tens of thousands to evacuate. Good evening, you're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Ju. In Thailand, a devastating fire at a Bangkok bar has left at least 27 people dead, with many found trapped in the toilets. Blocked fire exits and cluttered escape routes meant most victims could not escape in time. More than 60 others are injured, with over 20 in a critical condition. The blaze, which broke out just before midnight in the Chatuchak district, was fierce, with flames erupting from the entrance as terrified customers fled. Witnesses, including the bar's musicians, reported seeing sparks and smoke from an electrical box on stage, followed by a power failure and explosions. The bar was packed with around 200 patrons at the time. The manager confirmed the bar lacked a sprinkler system and staff failed to contain the flames with extinguishers. Initial investigations point to a short circuit in the air conditioning unit. Firefighters brought the blaze under control within 30 minutes, working in darkness to search for victims. Several bodies were recovered and placed outside the venue, but identification remains difficult, as many lacked identification documents. Inside, walls and ceilings were left scorched, and furniture severely damaged. Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul has promised a thorough probe, noting that many victims were found in the rear toilets, having succumbed to smoke inhalation. Tragically, an emergency exit nearby was locked and restricted to staff. Authorities confirmed the bar was licensed, but highlighted major safety failures. Flammable ceiling decorations caused the fire to spread rapidly, while emergency exits were obstructed by shelving and debris, trapping customers in the smoke. Commerce Secretary Algernon Yau reported continued growth in the number of overseas firms in Hong Kong, dismissing claims of foreign investment decline. On local economy, he said he could not pin down the reasons for recent shop closures, but pledged to help businesses upgrade and adapt to market changes. Jamie Liu has more.
Official figures show that Hong Kong was home to more than 11,000 mainland and overseas companies in 2025, an increase of 11% from a year earlier. The numbers of regional headquarters, regional offices, and Hong Kong branches all grew between 4% and 7%. In an exclusive interview with Cable News marking 4 years in office, Secretary for Commerce and Economic Development Algernon Yau said the figures showed foreign companies still view the SAR as full of opportunities, even as geopolitical strain weigh on the global economy. Yau argued that the chief executive's foreign visits have been effective in drawing businesses to Hong Kong, and said the government plans to tap into the African market through Turkey and Egypt. On the local economy, Yau expressed confidence that the GDP growth for this year would reach between 2.5% and 3.5%, despite geopolitical uncertainties. Yau also said the city's retail market is getting more stable, with total sales for the first 5 months in 2026 increasing by around 10%. When asked about business closures in recent years that swallowed many old-name local brands, the secretary said he could not generalize the reasons for the demise. Times have changed, and so have consumer demands, Yau reflected, pledging to support industries to adapt to market changes, especially in the age of AI. Yau also pledged to balance the interests of both consumers and businesses when drafting laws to tighten regulations on prepaid beauty and fitness contracts. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
Almost a week after the new pet-friendly dine-in policy rolled out, more than a dozen eateries have opted out, bringing down the number of licensed restaurants from over 940 to the 930s. The Food and Environmental Hygiene Department brushed off the drop, adding that restaurants can decide based on their own circumstances and that it will step up inspections after around 20 complaints. Evelyn Bai tells us more.
This chain fast food restaurant has also been granted a dog-friendly license, but only started welcoming dogs today. Access is limited to 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. with a designated pet area, though no dog owners had turned up yet. One diner said he had no objections as long as pet owners follow the rules. While another expressed concerns at fast food outlets for dogs, given their quick turnaround. Another chain restaurant in the same area also has a pet-friendly license, but no dogs were seen during afternoon tea time, and some branches have already pulled out of the scheme. FEHD Chief Albert Yun explained the new measure represents a significant change from long-standing practice. If some eateries felt unprepared and temporarily withdrew, that was a reasonable decision, he said. Since the new policy launched, a dedicated team from the department has conducted some 2,300 inspections, including some 400 unlicensed premises, receiving around 20 complaints. Yun said most of these complaints involved minor violations, such as leash length and the dog's seat. He said operations have been smooth overall, adding that if the first phase proves successful, a second application round could open in as soon as 6 months. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A taxi driver has been slapped with an $8,000 court penalty for overcharging after he was caught red-handed in a police sting. A magistrate criticized the behavior, warning that these rip-offs cause tourists to lose faith in Hong Kong and tarnish the city's global reputation. Jamie Liu reports.
The 44-year-old defendant received his penalty at the West Kowloon Magistrates Courts. He was busted on May 1st when police officers went undercover as passengers at Hong Kong Disneyland. According to case details, the defendant approached an undercover officer and asked where he was heading. The officer showed him the Hyatt Regency Hotel in Sha Tin on a mobile phone, and the defendant replied 350. The officer then communicated with him in Mandarin, and the defendant told him to get in the taxi. After the officer boarded, the defendant did not start the taximeter. Upon arrival at the destination, the officer paid him $400, and the defendant handed back $50 in change. The officer then revealed his identity and arrested the defendant for overcharging by $100 than a standard fare of $250. In her sentencing remarks, Magistrate Amy Chan criticized the 44-year-old's actions. She said cases of overcharging are running more rampant, tarnishing Hong Kong's image and undermining tourists' confidence in the city. She ordered the defendant to pay an $8,000 fine. Jamie Liu, Cable News.
An off-duty firefighter has been arrested for common assault following a physical altercation in Bangkok. The incident, which involved a scuffle with 2 other individuals, was captured on video and has since circulated online. The incident took place at Sim City, a shopping center known for its computer, photography, and audio-visual equipment stores. Online footage shows a man wearing a green striped shirt shouting at a man and woman dressed in black before pushing them. The Fire Services Department has confirmed that the man in green, aged 48, is an off-duty firefighter. According to reports, the dispute began after his wife was allegedly touched by the pair. Following the incident, the pair voluntarily attended a police station to provide statements. The firefighter has been released on police bail pending further investigation. Tropical storm Bavi continues to track northeast, bringing torrential rain to several parts of Liaoning province. More than 170,000 people have been evacuated across the province, with widespread suspensions of work and school operations in place. Heavy rainfall has persisted across the northeastern province. Shenyang issued its highest-level red alert for rain this morning as low-lying roads flooded, leaving vehicles stranded. Since Sunday night, Shenyang has recorded a cumulative rainfall of up to 186 millimeters. The extreme weather has forced the closure of 73 waterlogged locations and 90 tourist attractions. Construction sites have been ordered to halt work, while sections of the public transport and metro networks have been suspended. Local authorities have urged residents to avoid non-essential travel, and government offices and businesses have been advised to shift to remote work wherever possible. Meanwhile, in Huangshan City, Anhui Province, which was previously affected by the storms, conditions began to ease on Monday as river levels subsided. Transport-wise, several train routes in the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region have been suspended, with about 100 flights cancelled across airports in Hefei, Nanjing, and Beijing. The western region of Japan is braving a severe hot spell with temperatures exceeding 38 degrees Celsius, prompting heatstroke alerts across 14 prefectures. Meanwhile, South Korea issued its first emergency heatwave warning under a new alert system launched this year. Evelyn Bai reports.
In Japan's Yamaguchi prefecture, the town of Hirose recorded 37 degrees before midday, prompting residents to put on sun protective clothing, carry umbrellas, and use portable fans to stay cool. The Japan Meteorological Agency announced that the raining season in several regions of western Japan has ended earlier than usual. Daytime temperatures soared to 38.3 degrees in Hida City, Oita Prefecture, and 38.2 degrees in Itoshima City, Fukuoka Prefecture. Heat stroke alerts have been issued for 14 prefectures, marking the highest number this year. At Ichikawa City Zoo in Chiba Prefecture, the viral macaque punch was seen retreating into caves to escape the heat. Zookeepers have installed air conditioning around the area, along with misting system. South Korea is also facing a heat wave. The Korea Meteorological Administration issued an emergency heat wave warning for Gyeongsang and Pohang, the first such alert since the system was introduced last month. The warning is triggered when areas experiencing a heat wave are forecast to hit perceived temperatures of 38 degrees or an actual temperature of 39 degrees for one day. The hot spell is forecast to last until Tuesday or Wednesday, when rain should bring relief. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Now let's take a look at the stock market. The Hang Seng Index ended the day up 38 points. Top active stocks of the day: Tracker Fund was up 6 cents. SMIC was down $1.30. Alibaba was up 50 cents. And Tencent was down $2.60. Foreign exchange against the Hong Kong dollar: Canadian dollar 5.54, the Australian dollar 5.44. Onto the weather now. Cloudy with a few showers and squally thunderstorms. More showers tomorrow. Showers will be heavy at times. Temperatures will range between 26 and 30 degrees. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Ju. Thanks for watching and good night.